This is DMG and His Lordship Chairman Meow, and in this video we can talk about how to extend out the narrative points along a narrative thread. We're talking about storytelling in RPGs. So if you'd like to support these videos and keep the cat in tuna, be sure to check out patreon.com/7dsystem. So of course, as we've been talking about narrative design in role-playing games, we talked about the 3-act structure and the 4 narrative points within each act. Now, you don't have to do this in one session. You can do this over multiple sessions. You could do, say, 4 narrative points in one session, and then 4 in the next, and 4 in the next. So your 3-act structure is effectively three sessions. Or you could do each session is a narrative point, and you base your themes for the session around that narrative point itself. So, for instance, the hook. The entire session is about finding out about the primary reason for the story to exist. So you can play that out over an entire session, and then the next one you would then say when you're meeting the mentor, it's all about going to find the mentor. And that's how you would do it in literature. You would extend it out over many, many pages. So it's not about having to hit that mark every single time. You can stretch out the narrative in that way. Now, in a future video, we're going to be talking about how to do multiple narrative threads. So this, I'm still talking about one narrative thread, one storyline, and creating a story that continues on through these. And you can start to think about films like the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy in the 70s and 80s. And the first movie is really Act 1, the second movie is Act 2, and the third movie is Act 3. And if you go through these videos on Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, and you start to think about Star Wars and what happens in those movies, you can correlate those to those acts. Even though those films have 12 narrative points within the film itself, you can actually see the whole film as 4 narrative points in a greater epic. So that's something you can consider as well, is that, when you go into the next video, we talk about multiple narrative threads, using the narrative thread as an overarching structure and using narrative threads as individual narrative points throughout a story as well. And that's really something to really think about when you're writing your campaign or creating your game, is where is the story going to be going, and in what and how do you want to progress? So set yourself a goal. I want to do 4 narrative points per session, so the characters need to get from here to here within the session, and then you can start to block in your tests and trials and things that need to occur in order to make that work within the context of your game. So as I said, in the next video we're going to talk about multiple narrative threads running concurrently. If you like this video, click the like button. You can also check me out on Facebook and Twitter /7dsystem, and the website 7dsystem.com, where you can start to see resources and other aspects of the game that are slowly being put up there. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. And he might be there too. Old Sneaky.